wears this blazing red robe, picked from a busy street of Goa with a piece of jewelry by an Indian brand. She doesn't shake hands, she hugs. And then she breaks into Hindi terms of addressing. Leslie Woodbin is this famous film producer from UK with East is East and West is West standing out besides other productions like Sitting Targets, Who Bombed Birmingham, The One and Only and Mrs. Radcliffe's Revolution. But somewhere deep in her soul, she's almost Indian, and the emotion stretches beyond the surface of cinema. She feels for this land for reasons both logical and emotional. We trace Leslie Woodbin's journey from theatre to television to cinema, all beating with one song, For the Sheer Love of People. Here's a breezy proof between us. Welcome to the show, Leslie.
Thank you. Dhanyavad, Mehrbani, Shukriya.
Beautiful. You able to understand Hindi and Punjabi?
Very little. I'm trying so hard to learn, but I did live in the Punjab for 6 months while I shot the film West is West here.
Right, right.
So I picked up a lot. But Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Salam Alaikum.
Yeah, Salam Alaikum suits you a lot.
It does. Good.
Half of your cast was from Pakistan, I believe.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Must have picked a lot of
British
from
Pakistanis.
There. Yes.
And then the other half was Indian.
Right.
It was beautiful bringing the two together.
Yeah. Before we start, toss a few more Punjabi words or Hindi words that you've learned.
हम तो लुट गए पर बाद हो गए.
You know what that means?
I do.
And?
मुझे तुमसे बहुत प्यार है. मेरा दिल भी कितना पागल है.
That's really filmy,
Yeah.
Do you watch
I'll tell you what's really filmy from a production point of view.
Yeah.
Uttomaya veya kam karo.
What is that? Come
That
again?
means get up there, shift yourselves, get working.
Yeah.
Uttomaya veya kam karo. No? You don't recognize it. I'm obviously mispronouncing.
No, but whatever it is, it sounds really sweet coming from you.
Thank you, thank you.
You have a thing for India, right?
I have a deep love for India.
Yeah.
I guess my love affair started when I made East is East. The first Indian person who I deeply befriended was Om Puri. Now when you learn to know a nation through such an ambassador, believe me, you fall in love. He has got the purest heart, the purest soul. He's been a great friend for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's an impassioned man, a man who loves the people.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with India through falling in love with Omji, I think, is the truth. And then, of course, when I filmed in the Punjab, the hospitality of the people here, the warmth, the openness, there was nothing that the villagers who we filmed amongst wouldn't give us, you know.
Yeah.
They gave us the doors of their houses so that we could have authentic looking doors on our set.
Wow, amazing.
You know, wonderful people.
Yeah. Punjab is known for that.
It is, and rightly so.
Yeah. Is that attitude different from, let's say, a very British attitude?
100%. When you film in Britain, people are now so cynical about it. All they care about is how much is my location fee. And
money.
money and logistics. And also I think people are used to having had film crews in their homes not trash the place but certainly leave some wreckage behind because it happens. So people are not that open about filming. Here film is in the blood. It's in the culture. People love it. They open their hearts to it. They open their doors to it. And so it's much easier from that point of view to film in this country.
You're right. Cinema happens to be, I think, the most popular medium of communication here. I mean, entertainment. Is that kind of an obsession there in UK or the West for their cinema?
Not in the same way. But I tell you, the obsession with cinema in this country is a wonderful thing, but it also has a downside. The obsession is for one kind of cinema.
Yeah, commercial, hardcore.
Commercial, hardcore, Bollywood masala films.
Lots of music and song and dance.
And
Which is not bad.
Not bad. There's a wonderful place for that in the world. But you know, film to me, film is sacred. About people, for people. I make films because I love people. So from my point of view, what matters most is the story. is that people will look at the story and recognize their own lives in it in some shape or form. It will have echoes for them. It will reflect their own reality, and it will enhance and empower them to deal with situations and life. And for me, what's best about cinema is that it uniquely can improve ethical values, moral values. It can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And
Very, very strongly so.
if you sit in this sacred environment, in a community of people,
Yeah.
and for those 2 hours, you're negating your own self, your own problems, your own selfish concerns, and you're opening your heart and your focus and attention to the point of view of another human being. You're going on a journey with someone else, with their thoughts, their emotions. That's the most generous act a human being can make, to see the world through the eyes of another.
Yeah.
Now, if we did that all the time, how much better a place would this world be? If we understood the motives of people, we wouldn't just point a gun at them and shoot. We would talk, we would debate.
Yes.
And you and I, Balpreet, as women, when we care about leaving the world a better place for our children, nothing can do it as well
Better than cinema.
as cinema can. So the obsession with cinema is a double-edged sword,
Yes.
because one shouldn't be obsessed with cinema for the sake of glamour, stardom, riches, fame. It's not about that. That is actually a negative way of looking at cinema, because what does that do to the majority of people in this country? It makes them feel that
Very
they
inadequate.
are inadequate. They are not interesting. Their lives are not interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know, when I went recently this year to 3 small festivals in Yamunanagar, the DAV College for
Yeah,
Girls,
yeah.
Rajpura, Faridabad,
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed by the response of the students there. They had never seen, 95% of them, honestly, had never seen films like this from world cinema or indigenous independent Indian films either. And the amount of pride and affirmation and release they felt that filmmakers are interested in their stories, you know, and they would come up to me and say, this has transformed me, this has
Yeah.
changed my life.
Isn't that should be heartening, you know?
That is so heartening, and that's why we do it. You know, it's not easy work for a producer. You spend 4 years of your life on one film. You neglect your children, you neglect your family while you are making this. So it has to be about something substantial.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? You know, you give up at the second or third hurdle, and there are many hurdles. India is one of the most robust powers that is globally galloping away into the global hemisphere, you know?
That's how how it is perceived outside?
That's how it's perceived. But its youth, are they all catching up with that? Are they all enabled and empowered and prepared? Do they know the world? They don't see the world necessarily from every corner of India, because most people can't travel in their lives. Cinema is the medium for them to travel, to live like a civilized, sophisticated, beautiful soul.
Yeah.
What more can one want?
This is leading to the project that you have picked up of taking world cinema to the, you know, the most innermost parts of the country. Am I right?
Yes, we are going to visit every single college and every single university throughout India. We are taking world cinema, but also it's very important to stress independent Indian cinema as well, because there is a lot of wonderful independent work that's done in this country.
Amazing work.
Sadly, most of it does not get distributed, and most of it does not get seen.
It goes into the cans. It remains in the cans.
It does. And that's a great tragedy. But, you know, until the day when there is an audience that has seen these kinds of films, that has become enthused about them and wants to see more, so we will take these meaningful, these thought-provoking films, films that move people on in their attitudes and thinking, and we're going to go to all the colleges and universities in India. We're starting next year, God willing, if we can raise the money in time. And this is a charity. This is a not-for-profit venture. It presents a great opportunity for any brand who wants to reach in a direct and powerful and exciting way the youth of India, who are, after all, the most important demographic. Put your brand out there. You will also be doing a wonderful thing for the youth of this country. You will be truly educating them in an extraordinary way. The other thing to say is, you know, I've spent, since May, I have given up my own career, my own concerns, to give myself over for this. It's a pure Dil project for me. It's just pure passion.
I was going to ask you, what is it about India that, you know, I'm putting your movies and everything else aside, you are here in India wanting to raise funds and taking cinema to Indian students and youngsters.
Yes.
What is the force behind it? What is the whole passion, you know, where is it coming from?
Well, I think if I'm very honest, I would say that there are two countries in the world that need it most. India is one, the other is America.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have any sense of love for America as a country. I don't have a relationship with America.
You don't relate with it?
Not really. You know, it's a country that is, again, you know, very Hollywood, Bollywood, it's all the same, you know. America is another country where such efforts are needed, because when you talk to the students of America, they are not very well informed about the world. You need enlightenment.
And sensitivity towards the rest of the world.
Absolutely. So if I were doing this in America, my passions would be just as much engaged, but I love India. I have a relationship with India. I've been coming here for 10 years. How can one not love India? And
what is it about India that endears you to it so much? Can you put a finger on it?
It's hard to put my finger on it completely, but I think it mostly lies with the ordinary people you meet.
Yeah? What about them?
They are very open. They are very...
with no walls around them?
There are no walls. For example, the villages of Jayanti Madhuri, I feel, are my family.
Yeah?
The kindness in the heart that shines through them, it makes me believe that we will have a better world, you know? But the youth of this country have to change a lot of things in this country. There is a lot that needs attention.
Like what?
Female feticide, I mean, I can reel off lists. I think there is a sense in which cultural attitudes in India are very entrenched, and it's very hard for families to allow their children to make their own choices, to allow their children to fly. But the people are very pure.
Yeah.
And have very big hearts.
You were saying that the youth and the vast majority, they are really taken in by the glitter and the glitz of the popular cinema. Your project endeavors to introduce the youth towards more thinking, more thought-provoking cinema. But really, how do we crack through? Because what are the elements you think could come handy else than just reaching out to them? Because that may not be long-lasting, and there would be filtering happening at that level also.
No. If you had seen what I have seen
in
with my own eyes, this was so palpable. This wasn't just, interesting. This was, oh my God.
Yeah?
It was earth-shattering. I mean, I'll give you one example. I had one young girl in Yamunanagar come up to me, tears streaming down her face. She said, "Ma'am, how will I ever thank you for coming from Europe? You came all the way here to Yamunanagar." I said, "Do you know how important you are?" You know, and it was so moving, it was so touching. And in the same breath, this same girl said, "I didn't know such films existed. By seeing these films, I now know I'm in the wrong course. I'm going to switch. I'm going to do social work." And she meant it, and she was changed by this.
I can believe this. You know, a lot of us have grown up watching very different kind of cinema. I don't know if you know about the Indian filmmakers. There was this, parallel cinema happening, which came in the 70s, but of course it has been, traveling down. Even now, you talk about the classics. You talk about Ritu, you talk about Satyajit Ray. You talk about Shyam Benegal. You talk about Govind Nihalani.
Shyam Benegal is one of our patrons.
Wow.
Om Puri, Gulzar, Arun, Nandita Das, Feroza Baz Khan, Leela Samson, you know.
Okay, have you watched a lot of Indian cinema?
A fair bit, not a lot.
Okay.
It's hard for me to watch a lot.
Because of the language?
No, because of the
aesthetics.
Values. Do you know, this will shock you, but we're talking very relaxed and openly, and I will tell you that when I watch some Bollywood films and see some of the dance sequences, to me it looks like pornography.
You're right. You're not far
It's terrible.
Absolutely right.
What are they doing?
And they are very popular.
What are they doing? You know? So I find it very hard to key into that mentality and to appreciate all that. I hate violence in films where the violence is not put in a context, where there is not a criticism of that violence implied. So recently I saw Gangs of Wasseypur 2.
It was just too much.
Horrified me. I was shocked.
I couldn't see
And
half of it.
you know, it's a good friend of mine who made that film,
Anurag Kashyap.
Anurag Kashyap, who I have great, have great admiration for. But I cannot see what that film was doing other than encourage people to see violence as glamorous. Correct.
Almost celebrating violence.
I agree. And to me that's irresponsible. That's not on.
You know, you defined the entire purpose of cinema beautifully. You know, it is actually a sacred space, and it can make that kind of change in everybody. The kind of cinema you watch tells a lot about you, I guess. What are the elements that add up to this kind of effect?
If your heart is in the right place,
Yeah.
if you are doing the film with integrity,
You're feeling it somewhere inside. It's going to
it will
make others feel too.
Of course it will. It
Yes.
will translate.
Yeah.
You know, all I care about is going into someone's heart and opening it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And if that's what my aim is, that's where all my focus is. I, as a producer, will not spend money on business class travel, on comfortable hotels.
Yeah.
I want all the money to go where it counts, where it's going to actually get into people's hearts and make a difference, you know.
Right, right.
So I've given a very mundane small example, but it's every choice you make all along the road of this
Makes a
4-year
difference.
journey makes a difference.
Difference.
And the other thing is that if this story is not important, believe me, you give up after the first 2 months of working on a project
I'm
because
sure.
it's so hard.
Yes.
You know, when I made West is West, no exaggeration, Balpreet, 8 months, for 7 days a week, every single day for 8 months, I slept 3 hours a night
God.
for 8 months.
That's not. I mean, how did you survive that?
I survived it because of my passion and my belief.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I was doing was very important, you know.
East is East was your debut as a producer.
As a film producer.
As a
I had
film
done some
producer.
television
Yes.
before. I'd actually made a television film called Who Bombed Birmingham, starring John Hurt.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
wonderful actor
Yeah.
John Hurt. I had made that as my first real production as a producer, fully fledged, on my own. And that released from prison 6 men who had been wrongfully imprisoned by the British justice system for 17
Wow.
years.
You must have felt so
It was
satisfied, you know.
very satisfying. Very
Yes.
satisfying.
That's what I'm sure for you the kick is in there. I think
Yes.
it should be for everybody probably. Okay, why not direction? Why production? I mean, since you've been an actor, and you know you've done so much theatre.
This will surprise you. Production, because as a producer, you are the eagle that is the guardian of the vision of the whole film. If you're a director, you come in at a certain point, you leave at a certain point. There is much happens before you come in, and there is much happens after you go. I'm so driven by the passion for a story or a cause or an issue that I need to be there from minute 1
the
to
last.
minute Z, right through the whole process. And it's
Yeah.
only the producer who does that. The actors are there for a few weeks or
Yeah.
even sometimes for 1 day.
Yeah.
The director is there for approximately 1 year. The editor is there for 4 months. The producer is there for 4 years, sometimes more.
Do you feel tempted to sometimes, you know, let's say you're on the sets and you know the feel or that emotion of the film is very clear to you, as you said, you keep an eagle eye on it, and someday you see it slipping out, you know, and do you have the temptation of coming in and just taking hold of the camera and doing it yourself?
In fact, I don't, because I know how important it is for the director to be the king of the set or the queen of the set.
Yeah, so you allow that freedom.
Totally, but I do have an understanding with the directors I work with that before the camera is moved on, he or she and I have a quick conversation. If there is something that I feel should be tried or added, something that may be missed, so that at least what's in my head is there as possibilities. But there has to be a hierarchy on set. There has to be a sense that, you know, the director is in charge, because it's a very difficult job to direct. So you have to be very careful not to interrupt that flow. But you know, it just, I don't know why I've thought of this now, but boy, would I love to get my hands on Indian production and just say, why are you wasting so much money? You could make 3 films for every film you make.
Lot of money goes into it.
Of money that is thrown out on lack of discipline, on chaos, on
the so-called stars,
timekeeping, the so-called stars. It's heartbreaking, you know. And in the UK now, there is no money for filmmaking. Oh, it's in a terrible state.
Economic.
You know.
So are you saying that our popular cinema, the money spent on our popular cinema is much higher than, let's say, UK or even, is that right?
I believe so.
Cinema?
Certainly the money that the stars get in this country is much higher. And, you know, the tragedy also is that you only have 5 of them. I mean, why not have 50 of them? There are so many talented people in this country.
There's amazing
you know.
talent.
When I was scheduling West is West, I was told by my line producer here we needed 100 days. Well, we only had the budget for 30 days.
Then what did you do?
I said it has to be done in 30 days.
Finished it in 30 days?
Of course. We finished on time, on schedule, on budget. Of course, because we had discipline.
Was it difficult to discipline the Indian actors? Or the ones who came from Pakistan?
I must say, we had great actors, you know, but the thing is, it's easy to inspire people when you really believe in something.
Yes, that's right.
They get inspired by it. They were great to work with, wonderful.
You know, what do you look for in your actors?
I must say that I have traditionally had a problem casting stars. Not because I can't get them, but to me, having been an actor,
and theatre,
the most important thing about an actor is that the actor comes toward the character. The character has to change the actor. And the star performers are playing themselves. They're not playing a character.
All the time.
So how can you call that acting?
Absolutely.
It's not acting. And you have to be doing it with such a conviction that this is the only thing you, the character, can do. How can you play yourself while you're doing that sort of sacred business, you know? So I look for integrity in an actor. I look for an actor who is intuitive in the way that they are not arrogant. They are not people who want to put themselves forward. They are people who want to tell a story.
You did a lot of theatre in London.
Yes.
You were born in
Israel. Actually, yes.
Right. And then you grew up a bit in South Africa.
Yes.
And then you moved to London at 20. For the sheer love of theatre.
Yes, because London to me was my mecca in terms of that's where the great theatre happened. And I was so fortunate to work with some amazing British actors. Sir Alec Guinness, with Alan Rickman, Snape in Harry Potter. I played opposite him in a play at the Royal Court Theatre. I was very fortunate and had a wonderful theatre career.
Where do you draw your energy from? I mean,
it's from love of people. I love people more than anything else in this world.
And on the personal front, you're married to an actor?
Yes.
He's from Denmark?
He is.
So your 2 children are being right now taken care of by him?
By my husband. Danish men are very liberal, thank God, I'm happy to say. He realizes that in order for me to do the work I have to do, I have to give it my all. I wouldn't achieve anything if I did things by half. So my kids are okay. It's not that they've been, abandoned by this, denied a mother. We're constantly in touch and Skyping, and I keep going home in between my trips. I'm always there. My husband is the rock.
you are a woman from the Western world, and this is India, and I'm an Indian woman. Am I right in thinking that no matter where, if a woman has a very supportive man by her side, it makes a lot of difference?
Huge difference. The difficulty is that traditionally society has said the woman has to support the man. Now, I look at it from a different point of view. I say the children need to have someone at home. You can't leave children with nannies, servants, you know. You must not ever do that. It doesn't matter if it's the mother at home or if it's the father at home. And you know, we are 50% of the world's population. We have every right to have equal rights. I recently was asked to present an Inspiring Women Award in Manchester in the UK, and I had to do a bit of research because they said you have to talk for 40 minutes. So I actually went online, took it seriously, did some research. I was so shocked, Balpreet. Of all the heads of state in the world, only 9% are women. Of all the boards, 13% are women.
There's still a long way to go.
Oh, there is such a long way to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, we are so capable, we can multitask, we are strong, we are forward-thinking.
And still not done in by ego, I think. Many times, I don't know about outside of India, but in the Asian continent, the male ego somewhere cuts in. I mean, I have no shame in saying that.
And I think we have to help them see and understand, you know. And also we should reassure them that when we take over the world, which surely we will give them unusually 50% representation, not 15.
Yes. Okay, finally, Leslie, right, filmmaking and production, these are your small passions. You have a beautiful family, and thank God for that. In the larger picture, have you thought about what are you born for and what are you here to achieve?
Yes. I am only here to improve people's lives. I know that. It's what I feel most sensibly. And you know, East is East has made the most enormous difference to cultural relations in England. That one film did it. With West is West, there's a very powerful message. A humanistic message.
Right.
But I found myself thinking, you know, I need to go back to spending more time on other people, and that's also sort of converged in the having of the idea of People Cinema and deciding to dedicate a big chunk of my time to it.
Yeah.
And you know, if I were the Prime Minister of this country, I would be saying, let's do this. Let's bring our youth up
It's a very powerful idea.
It's a brilliant idea.
Powerful idea. You know, we really wish you all the best, and I have a feeling that this will work, and this will work brilliantly. And it was lovely talking to you, Leslie.
Dhanyavad, meherbani, shukriya. Mere bahan, mere sundar bahan.
Sundar bahan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
To Leslie Woodbin, cinema is a means to cleanse, improve and evolve. It's a sacred space and deserves only the truth. And the good part? She walks the talk. Here's wishing that others pick from her footsteps between us.